Fingerboarders. So I came across this video, I've not seen it, and this is actually by Wired, which is crazy. And Mike Schneider was essentially featured on Wired, got 6.2 million views, which is absolutely crazy. Has like so Mike Schneider, if you don't know who he is, clearly in my opinion the GOAT of fingerboarding. I remember seeing this guy back when I was in like school, so many years ago, and just want to watch this video, kind of my thoughts on it, and why I think Mike Schneider is just really important when it comes to fingerboarding. So let's watch the video.
We all remember playing with fingerboards as a kid, but this man turned fingerboarding into his career and lifelong passion.
My name is Mike Schneider. I'm a professional fingerboarder, and I'm the owner of FlatFace Fingerboards.
The thing about Mike Schneider, I don't want to keep pausing every second, but what I do want to say is tricks. I know he's been doing this for a really long time, but tricks are some of the cleanest tricks I think I've ever seen. You would watch those Tech Deck Pro videos, Schneider just makes tricks look so clean, and just whenever I watch him, this is pro.
Since he was about 10 years old, he's been building his own fingerboards and customizing his own scaled down skate parks, and he's been shredding ever since.
Learning a new trick, do you think it's more painful on a skateboard or on a fingerboard?
Learning a trick on a real skateboard is definitely more painful because you can act.
You guys ever gotten injured using a fingerboard? I don't think I ever have, but that would definitely be interesting. I actually never got to skateboard as a kid. My mom wouldn't let me, but yeah, what do they expect him to say?
Actually get hurt doing it. So I started fingerboarding in 4th grade. I had just started skateboarding shortly before that, and I was totally hooked. It was awesome. And so kids in my 4th grade class had fingerboards, Tech Decks, and they were playing with them during class and during recess, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever, so that's where it all started. A lot of my first fingerboarding was done on books, and we would stack them to make stair sets and stuff like that, so you can be really creative and you can fingerboard just about anywhere.
Thing is, that's kind of the story, I feel not only for me, but for so many people, is that they all started when they were younger, and then either they came back into the hobby later on, and off maybe, then came back. I always had that connection with fingerboarding, so I'm glad that I'm starting to really have that passion, and make content and stuff like that, and Mike Schneider got me into it.
You might be able to fingerboard anywhere, but Mike has spent most of his life creating the ultimate fingerboard park. He spends well over 40.
Wait, have any of you actually been to this warehouse? I know it's in Massachusetts, but I've actually never been there. It's crazy. Look at all those. Man, it's all Black River. That's crazy. Yeah, the only thing that I own that's somewhat of an obstacle is this Black River ramp right here, but actually this rail, which I have right here, but that is crazy. What? Yo, I think I need to go there.
He spends well over 40 hours a week surrounded by miniature skateboards and his collection of tiny skate parks.
We are in the FlatFace Fingerboards building in Drake, Massachusetts. It's basically a huge building full of fingerboard parks. There's at least 25 of them in here, so you can come in and just fingerboard all day long, and it's just an awesome place for people to get together and have fun. The first trick I remember learning was a varial flip. I was trying a kick flip and it kept doing varial flips, so I got really good at varial flips. One big moment that I can remember learning how to fingerboard that was pretty profound was first time that I did a kickflip nose slide, because it took me an hour, 1 hour at my desk trying it over and over again, not doing it, and then all of a sudden I did it and I noticed my camera was off. The battery had died, so I didn't even get it on film, but it was more of I actually just did this thing that I thought was impossible.
I feel that happens so many times where you get a good trick and then it's not on camera, and then you kind of make people think that you actually got it. But yeah, it happened many times, and I feel sometimes I give up too early, so shout out to you, Mike Schneider.
Then I realized I could pretty much learn any trick if I just apply myself to it. There's a lot of really complex tricks that I do, and once I do them, they feel easy afterwards, but it takes a long time to get to that point, so it's kind of growing and evolving over time.
19 years of intense practice has given Mike a catalog of tricks that rivals any skater to grace a Thrasher cover.
So the most basic trick is an ollie, and that's just a simple jump where the board appears to be stuck to your fingers, but it's not. The way that it works is that your middle finger is going to pop the board against the ground, where the board kind of momentum from hitting the ground, and then you're basically lifting your hand with it, guiding it. And then when you've reached the peak and level out, then you just go back down with it.
So I actually used one of Mike Schneider's like to learn how to ollie. This was like a while back, but I actually used his video. It was definitely a big help. An issue that I'm like into, and I feel like it's a habit of mine that I'm doing a lot, is I'm going backwards and then popping. And I know you probably shouldn't do that all the time, but yeah, backwards and then over, which I kind of learned. So I need to get better with just more of a consistent roll, but yeah.
Once you've mastered the ollie, people usually move on to a kickflip, which is one of these. Basically, you pop it like an ollie.
I just have to stop, like, just so clean. I know he's been doing it for a long time and I shouldn't compare myself, but dude, like, tricks are just so clean, man. Like, I need to watch that again.
The ollie, people usually move on to a kickflip, which is one of these. Basically, you pop it like an ollie, then you flick it with this finger, which makes the board flip. And then when it's done flipping, you land on it, and then you land on the ground. Next, you could learn something like a varial flip, which is a kick flip where the board also turns 180 degrees. Then after that, you could do a tray flip, which is a 360-degree rotation plus a kick flip. Instead of popping straight down with your back finger, you're basically scooping it a little as you pop, like that, and that's what's setting the spinning rotation, and then you're flicking it similar to a normal kick flip with your front finger. Then you
Yeah, I remember as a kid trying to learn these. I was like 10, 11 years old, bro. I could not even do an ollie. Like, it's crazy. You can just tell like levels to this. And funny because people always say like you claim to be a pro. I'm not a pro by any means. Definitely am trying to learn as much as I can, but I'm not a pro. This is a pro right here, Mike Schneider.
you can start turning your whole hand with it. You can do like frontside flip, backside flip, spinning the other direction, big flip, which is like a tray flip with the 180. So there's tons of levels, and then you can combine more and more things together. I could do a kick flip to late impossible. So an impossible where you wrap it around your finger, but I can do like kick flip first.
You guys just saw that? What the heck was that, man? This is crazy. Like, how do you even do these things, honestly? Like, I don't even understand. We want to jump to the part with the board, so let's see this.
In his quest for the ideal fingerboard, Mike decided to just do it himself. So in his humble basement in Massachusetts, Mike estimates he's built thousands of decks over the years and shipped them out to customers all over the globe.
All right, so we're gonna mold a board here. We're gonna start out by cutting the wood, this really thin maple, which is gonna be layered and then molded into shape. So we'll cut 2 plies with the wood grain horizontal, and then there's gonna be 3 with vertical grain. So that keeps it basically so that the shape will hold over time. It just keeps the whole thing really strong and sturdy. Now that we've got our wood cut, we're gonna glue it together and put it in the mold, which will give it its shape. So the plastic wrap is just to keep everything clean so it doesn't make a huge mess everywhere on the mold. So this is the mold. It's got the shape of the board, and the wood just goes right in it. And then you squeeze.
So I actually own multiple FlatFace fingerboards. I own a G15, and then I think I own like actually it could be two G16s, I think. And there are some of my favorite boards out there, especially the 34 millimeters. So Mike Schneider, if you're watching this, thank you again for sending me the board. Crazy good quality. Let's just jump ahead because I just want to see how it wraps up.
Hit or miss because I was still learning what I was doing and really making them as I go, kind of always tweaking the dimensions and the shapes. Basically every single upgrade was, oh, I think if I change this part, it'll make it a little better if I just move the nose and tail shorter or farther away from each other. Like all these little movements and adapting it as I went along made it into what it is today, and now it's like much perfect. I think my favorite thing about the fingerboard community is just how much joy it brings to everybody, because it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. It just like everybody gets along really well, and a lot of us have made like friends through the whole process.
So I will say, like on Instagram, TikTok, I'm not a huge like yes person. I don't want to be, but the point that I'm making is like I don't necessarily agree with what Mike has to say at that last part, because I do think with everything, not everyone is going to be nice. I've already experienced a lot of people, and I feel like in fingerboarding, there's a lot of fingerboarders who judge others depending on like where you're at in your fingerboarding process, and opinions are like if you criticize someone and you're trying to help them, that's very different than like opinion. I would say overall, I do think the fingerboard community is a good community, and I do think the majority of people are good. Like everything, there are going to be people that, are having a bad day, jealous, who knows, whatever it may be. So yeah, end up being put on the block list. But what do I think about this video? The fact that Mike Schneider was able to get onto something like Wired, which has such a large audience, and just share fingerboarding and talk about his brand and just the community, I think is so huge. And it just shows you like how big fingerboarding not only was, but is, and how someone like Mike Schneider, not only building fingerboards, but like get to a next level is incredible. And it really just shows you like how our fingerboarding has come from tech decks all the way to pro fingerboards and your own massive warehouse full of parks. So shout out to Mike Schneider. Thank you again for all that you do for fingerboarding and just being an awesome and inspiring myself and so many other people. So comment down below, what do you think of the video, and do you like this kind of style content? Yeah, and fingerboarders, take care. Bye.